Alright, I don't usually do tech reviews, but because we do frequently go not quite off grid, but away from practical power sources, I needed a decent power pack that we could use and bring along with us. Here's a few examples of things that we have done in the past that take us away from regular power sources. Probably one of the key ones is when we were doing some beach stuff with the bait launchers. You see this little video clip here. We actually had a lot of fun with this. Not only did we do beach bait launches, but we actually ended up shooting a lot of stuff through the barrels, made different barrels. But anyway, that's a completely different story. I'll put links in here to those videos. As a matter of fact, you can see a link right here to the beach one where we were testing the bait launcher. One of the other things we do, of course, you know, if you're a follower of this channel, that we restore boats. And after every boat restoration, there's a sea trial. And we might be out there for several hours. So it's good to have a power bank of some kind where you can recharge your batteries. Now, there's other power banks that we've used. I've got one that can actually start an outboard motor, but I did want something that we can bring with us and use periodically if necessary. So sometimes when we're out in the lake, we might be doing sea trials. We might actually do some work on an engine. And here's an example where we were actually changing props. For this particular video, where we're comparing two different props to do on this Montauk 17 with a Yamaha F70. So yeah, we were actually there probably an hour, but God, if we had lost any parts, we might have been there for a lot longer. So it would be good to have a power bank on board where we keep everything charged and we could call for help if we need it. Alright, so if you're wondering why it's important to keep your phones charged, etc. while we're out in the field, the answer is it's not. What I do need it for is we use a lot of these older Canon and Nvidia. Really great cameras available at extremely reasonable prices in the used market. And I typically have these powered up via external power. So that's why it's important to have a good power bank out there. So let me go ahead and go over some of the features that this power bank by GoodAAA has. It's 45,800 milliamp hour, or basically 45.8 amp hours. I'll talk about that in a minute too, because I'm kind of doubtful about that. But anyway, the overall features of this may overcome any other deficit. So let's talk about all of that real quick. Alright, so it's a high capacity charger, 45,800 milliamp hours. It's got a solar panel on it that would allow you to charge. One of the things I kind of like about it, because if you're in an extended power outage, it might be helpful. Being in North Carolina, we get power outages all the time. So if you're in the dark and this thing's out, you can literally crank. I don't know how long it would take to crank this up, but you can see the charging lights. Try to hold it steady for you. We could be here quite a while charging this thing, but at least it has that capability. Push comes to shove, you've got a crank to put power up on it. There's a total of 7 outputs on this. 3 different built-in cables for output. Of course, this is the old Apple one, if you remember that. I don't think they do these anymore. Luckily, they've migrated to USB-C. The old micro USB. There's also 2, so that's 3, 4, 5. Alright, so to turn it on for wireless charging, you hit this button once. You're going to get a little flashy purple and red light, then it's going to turn red. You can place your wireless device and you'll see the light turn blue. Wireless device indicates that it's charging, and it's that easy. Now if you wanted to, this has USB-C. We could also, of course, plug it in through the USB-C and it would charge. It would actually charge much faster this way because it's 5 volts, 3 amps that it's pushing. So you would get a quicker charge that way. But if you need to, you can actually charge multiple devices simultaneously on this, up to 7 according to the specs. So of course it has a built-in flashlight. The way you get to that is you hold your button in, it'll turn the lights on. Hit it again, it'll flash. Hit it again, it strobes. I guess if you need to use that for emergency response or to get attention, you can use it that way. Turn it off. Now if you have the unit turned on, to turn it off you hit it twice and it'll turn it off. There's also 4 ports on the side of it next to the LED lights. The 2 ports are standard USB. Those are output ports that you can charge devices with. And then there's also a iOS port as well as a USB-C port, and those are input ports to charge the device. Probably the easiest way to charge it though is to use this charge cable and just hook it up to a standard USB charger and let it charge. Of course, you can always hook it up to the sun. Feedback I've seen on this is that it takes quite a while. You need bright sunlight, and you got to be careful that it does not overheat, so you got to be careful with that. I didn't buy it for this particular feature. I bought it for the amount of capacity that it has. Speaking of which, 45.8 amp hours is pretty significant for lithium-ion batteries. You'd have to stack quite a bit of batteries to get that much. So I'm a little doubtful as to the capacity of it, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't have any way that is practical to test to see if it has that much capacity or not, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. Overall, it's very well built. It looks like it's pretty solid. It looks like it'll take a beating, although I wouldn't recommend that. It's got some weight to it, which I would expect with the advertised capacity of it. It supposedly is waterproof and dustproof, suitable for any environment to use, is what they're saying. However, there's no IP rating, so I can't tell you that. I'm going to write them and see if they'll tell me what the IP rating on this device is. So overall, what do I think about this power bank? I like it. I think it's got a significant amount of power. A little questionable whether it has 45.8 amp hours. I'm not sure that that's possible, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think the overall quality is pretty good. This is especially useful if you're doing some primitive camping. By primitive, I mean in a tent. Personally, I'm old enough, I've gotten beyond that. If I camp, it's going to be in a hotel room. Well, not really. A camper's fine. But anybody that does camping in a tent would probably find this pretty useful. Or if they do long distance hiking where they may be hiking for a day or more, probably useful to carry one of these. In any event, hope this has been helpful to you. If it has, hit share and like, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.